Oh shit, my mic's been off this whole time. Well, would you look at that? Okay, my mic was off this whole time. Well, fucking A. All right, I'm gonna read whatever. Look, I'm the MAGA guy. Luckily, when my mic was off, whatever. It doesn't matter. Okay, I'll explain it more later on. I don't get independent journalism. I don't get independent. I mean, I get independent journalism, but I don't get a debate with the independent journalist that doesn't really have a freaking side to choose on. He's debate. He's not. You're not even. It's not even a debate. He's just saying you're wrong and prove me that how you're not wrong. Like, look, look. If you didn't vote for Trump, then you voted for Kamala Harris, or you didn't vote. So what the fuck? Who are you to debate? Like, people that don't vote, because I'm guessing he didn't vote, because it'd be hilarious if he voted for Trump, because it would be very hilarious, and it would be way more hilarious if he voted for Kamala Harris. And if he didn't vote, then why the is he debating? But whatever. You'll see these prompts. These prompts are so vague. These prompts are so like how do you even debate with it? It's silly. You know, he doesn't have a side. He doesn't choose a side. And watch the last prompt. The last prompt is the most hilarious. That I supposedly got on it. And I'm like, how do I even debate with this? Like, you're saying both are the same. Like, what the? But doesn't matter. I'm the only one wearing MAGA. About everyone here, by the way, you'll see. About everyone here thinks Donald Trump is corrupt. So I'm kind of a lone wolf, pretty much, up in this. Up in here. Let's go.
We're in a major war, aren't we? In Iran?
I mean, sure, we're in a conflict, but I don't think this is where you actually got it wrong.
Is it a
with the
war?
last guy.
Have you ever thought about going and fighting in this war that you're cheering on?
I mean, I've thought about joining the military before. I don't know about this war specifically.
When your adversary races to arms and increases their offensive capabilities, it's going to create a security dilemma.
That's a madman
for the West.
mentality. Iran lost any civilians?
Yeah, I'm sure. That's how war works.
That's how war works? Like on the first day we
Where am I?
vaporized 170 young Iranian schoolgirls
I think
by
it's-
bombing an elementary
yeah.
scholl?
Is
Yeah.
the Trump administration
Innocence.
actually
Yeah,
America
buddy.
first,
Yeah, buddy.
or has
Yeah,
Amer-
buddy. Yeah, buddy. Yeah. Innocents die in war. Kids, everybody. It's not yeah, what? That's what happened? You do in war? Kids die in war? Schools get blown up? Yeah, if the terrorists are fucking using it as a fucking bunker, maybe. You ever think about that? Damn. Shit. You're gonna see. This guy loves China. By the way, you're gonna fucking see. This Greenwald guy loves China. Watch. Just pay attention very closely.
MAGA morphed into something Trump supporters no longer recognize. I'm John Regalado, and from Jubilee Media, this is Surrounded. Today, we're diving into Trump's foreign policy record, the conflict with Iran, the United States' relationship with Israel, and much more. I'm here in the center with our featured guest, the United States' relationship with Israel, and much.
This is the face of who the fuck is that guy. That is me right now. I'm looking at Greenwald like, who the fuck is that guy? Who? That is my face of who the fuck is that guy. I was like, what the? I thought I was going to debate someone like I knew. And yeah, I read some comments. My face is red. Yeah, that's because I work outside, buddy. All right? I work outside. I'm an outside man. All right?
Much more. I'm here in the center with our featured guest, independent journalist Glenn Greenwald. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. Great to be here.
Are you ready to jump into these debates?
I am ready.
Debaters, are you ready? Let's get into it.
Hi, I'm Glenn Greenwald. I'm an author and independent journalist, and today I am surrounded by 20 Trump supporters. My first surrounded claim is President Trump is more of a war-making president than a peacemaking president.
If you would like to debate this claim, please get to the chair in 3, 2, 1.
Hey, nice to meet you.
Micah.
Good to meet
Good
you.
to meet you, Glenn. So, first, I want to just ask, what makes a peacemaking president?
A peacemaking president is somebody who, in the first place, avoids war for their own country, either solves and resolves wars that they inherit or prevents wars from breaking out that they would get their country involved with.
Okay, so you agree that prevention is a part of what makes a president a peacemaking president.
For sure.
Okay, so then what about Trump's foreign policy is not prevention?
Well, the first thing that he did in getting to office, basically within 30 days, was restarted a bombing campaign that President Biden had prosecuted throughout 2024, that President Trump during the campaign had heavily criticized. Yet as soon as President Trump got into office, he not only restarted that bombing campaign, but escalated it. That was the one in Yemen against the Houthis. It went on for about 5-6 weeks, or entailed hundreds of people
Was
who were
that
dead.
not necessary for like global trade to ensue? Was the Houthis not attacking multiple different ships? And
No, the Houthis were only attacking Israel at the time that President Trump did that. There was a peace deal that President Trump engineered that ended up being very temporary. And the Houthis said, for as long as this peace deal is in place, we won't attack ships. Once the Israelis started violating it, not letting food, they said, we're only going to attack Israeli
So here's
ships.
a
And that's when
question.
President
Here's a
Trump
question
attacked.
for you, Glenn. Are we still in conflict in Yemen?
No, President Trump ended his own war that he started.
Okay, so then by your definition, did we not prevent?
Let's not forget, everybody, what the prompt is, okay? President Trump is more of a war-making president than a peacemaking president, okay? And this is his argument and debate, okay? Just fucking pay attention to that.
Further conflict by having this conflict, and would we not free up the trade routes in Yemen from being attacked by the Houthis? It's free, is it not?
It's like saying I stabbed myself in the stomach, but then I brought myself to the ER where I had a doctor fix me up, and that proves that I'm really interested in fitness and self-care. President Trump started the war in Yemen. He escalated the war in Yemen. It was stopped at the
Were the
time that he
Houthis
took
attacking
over.
people or not?
They were attacking a foreign country called Israel that is not part of the United States.
Okay,
So
do these international trade routes not affect America?
No, not when it's only Israel.
Okay, so let me just give you guys a little background about a U.S. military. Is we're everywhere, all right? And we defend Israel, okay? They don't mention, he doesn't mention, nobody mentions the U.S. military, that they have to defend themselves before they get attacked. It's all, dude, it's not, it's war. It's war. If you want to say some fights and some bombings going on for a couple months is we're in a war, okay, then war is constantly fucking going on. Consistently.
Whose ships are being attacked. You can say the war is just. The question is President Trump making war or making peace? You can say, okay, he made war in Yemen, but I think the war is just. He's still a war-making.
Peace. He is the force to create peace. He's the only one that's creating peace around the fucking world. He's going to all these people's talking to all these presidents. If there wasn't peace between America and these countries, why the fuck would they allow them in their fucking castle, their palace, their fucking country? All right, buddy?
President, by
I think
definition,
it's
there was
very
no war when he
clear
got
by
in.
the result.
Nigga, he went to fucking North Korea, dude. First fucking president, first person I think allowed to fucking cross the fucking DMZ. You dumbass.
Conflict that it was a peacemaking military engagement. We have peace.
How
in
did it
Yemen
end?
now.
How did it end?
How did it end?
It ended by the Houthis saying, we will not attack anybody except the Israelis, and as long as they're denying food and water entering into Gaza.
And
they
he's a
continued to do
war-making
so. It
president.
achieved nothing. All it did was have the United States deplete our missiles, our military force, our resources. It was a war that didn't exist, that Trump created. Yes, congratulations, he ended his own war. But
And notice this debate, how it's going to go, how this debate is going to go as well, is that even my side, that's why, look, I even try not to do that, but supposedly my side, right? But they'll say, well, Joe Biden did this, and well, Barack Obama did this. Maybe I did that too. I don't think I did. I try not to. Try to keep it on point about don't talk about my president like this. But yeah, it's kind of there's no debate. It's really just who knows who used Grok more, I guess. Who knows more about what happened in the past, and you can always pick. But he's just hoping that, oh, this person didn't remember this. See, but I just speak truly. Donald Trump's a badass, and y'all just jealous. Simple as that. He could have had way more money if he wasn't president. Oh, he made so much money off of being president. You know how much more money he would have made if he wasn't president? You idiots.
That is an example of a war-making president.
I-
That's just one example. There's
think
obviously war in Iran as well.
Sorry.
That he inherited a presidency where we were not at war with Iran. We are now at war with Iran. We've twice gone to war with Iran under President Trump. That's
Okay,
another
so
war that he's made.
Do you not agree that Iran is a major threat and destabilizes the Middle East all the time?
I don't, but we'll get to whether the war is just. The question now is, does President Trump make more wars?
Well,
you seem to be
so
acknowledging
I want to
he
go
makes
back
wars,
to
but that
what
they're
you
just.
initially agreed to, though, is that part of what makes a peacemaking.
Nope, that wasn't the question, bitch. That wasn't the question. First of all, it wasn't a question, bitch. It was a prompt. From what the fuck? Logic. This. Ugh.
President isn't just, oh, we don't start any conflicts. It's actually engaging in conflicts to prevent further
So war is
conflicts.
peace. Did you read 1984 by George Orwell?
Well, no, I'm just.
No, but I'm just asking.
I'm literally quoting what you said earlier at the beginning.
No,
of this
but George
conversation.
Orwell in 1984 described the most extreme kind of propaganda by war-making tyrannies. And one of the things citizens
Glenn,
get
did you
told is
not admit,
war
though-
is peace.
Did you not admit that part of what makes a peacemaking president is stepping in and preventing further conflicts?
Yes, but you can't prevent conflicts by starting conflicts. Starting
What do you
conflicts
mean?
is starting conflicts.
Why
He
can you not
stops
use-
the
gotta
wars
pause
that he
there.
starts.
Can you
We
not
got to pause
start-
here, Mike. We got to pause here. You've been voted out by the majority. Please return.
Thank you.
What the fuck did he say? You can't prevent conflicts by starting conflicts? You got to encounter the conflict. You have to conflict. You have to conflict. What the fuck did? Shut the. Ugh. I would never hurt somebody.
So, in reference to Trump being a peacemaking president or a warmongering president, let's say, for example, let's start with the conflicts that he did indeed stop, right? For example, Pakistan, India. Pakistan nominated Trump for the Nobel Peace Prize. They said that he specifically played a big role
What
in
did
preventing
India
that
say?
conflict. Well, India disagreed, but Pakistan, regardless, said that he played a key role in preventing it. We had Thailand versus Cambodia also break out. Cambodia nominated Trump for the Nobel Peace Prize and also said that he prevented that conflict. I'd also say in reference to Venezuela, obviously no one thinks that Maduro was good there. The tyranny was crazy. The way that he was leading the government, everyone agrees. But he was able to take Maduro out, and Daisy Rodriguez, who's now the vice president, is very, you could say, subordinate or servile, right? 50 million barrels of oil, restricting Cuba, so on and so forth. And so I would disagree that he's a warmongering president.
Okay, the point is not he's a warmongering president. The formulation is he's
Right.
more of a war-making president
Sure.
than a peacemaking president. So even in your examples, including in Venezuela,
Right.
you're not denying that he used military force in a way that is considered an act of war
Sure.
by every country on the planet.
Sure.
You're defending the wars that he's making by saying they lead to good outcomes, which we can debate, but that's a separate question
Sure.
from the proposition. As far as these wars that you're concerned that I know he loves to cite, India was vehement that he had no role to play of any meaningful kind in mediating that conflict between India and Pakistan. That is a war that goes back, that conflict goes back many hundreds of
But
years
so does
long
many of these
before
other
Trump.
conflicts.
But even, let me ask you these questions, this
Right.
question about these other conflicts that you've named. Were those
Right.
part of the 2024 campaign? Did
Not
anyone ever
necessarily, but I
mention
don't
that?
think that-
Right, but you know why? Because they're completely trivial, and because the role that the United States plays in them is also essentially trivial as well. These and a lot, we can analyze those,
Sure.
but let's be clear. The real question is, does President Trump make war for the United States? Whether he
The answer is
plays
no.
some ancillary role in this.
No.
Well, we're in a
No,
minute.
again, that's not the fucking question. And it's not a fucking question, it's a fucking prompt. Your argument, your statement is President Trump is more of a war-making president than a peacemaking president. The fuck does that even fucking mean? What, you don't seem peaceful. You don't seem like you can be at peace. So that seems like a you problem, buddy.
Major war.
Well, so let's
we're in a
clarify
major
two
war
things.
now,
So when it
right?
came to
We're in a
Venezuela-
major war, aren't we? In Iran?
I mean, sure, we're in a conflict, but I don't think this is where you actually got it
war?
wrong.
Is
with
it
the
a
last
war?
guy.
Is it a
You
war?
can call it's a war and a conflict. There's no necessary there's no disagreement there. It's a conflict and a war. It's both, right? But the conflict didn't start recently, right? In 1979, Iran kidnapped 66 Americans and held them hostage for over 400 days, right? So
Why did they do that?
happened because they're anti-Western. But hold on, just let me finish this. So the conflict with Iran, or our issues with Iran, in reference to specifically the Islamic Republic, started more there. In 1982, 3 years later specifically, there was the Beirut barracks bombing, which I'm sure sure you're familiar with, where 242 Americans were killed in Beirut. They were there as a peacekeeping force, actually. And guess who specifically? I believe in 2002, a federal judge actually ruled that Iran supplied Hezbollah and gave them intelligence to kill 242 Americans. On top of that, I believe in Venezuela, they have the Quds Force as well that is there. They fund 3 main terror groups. According to the FDD, they spent about $16 billion doing so, right? Hezbollah, the Houthis in Yemen. And by the way, the last guy, you were also wrong. $200 billion worth of economic damage in reference to the Red Sea, where 1/10 of trade
were
goes
we at
through.
war with Iran when President Trump was inaugurated?
No, we weren't directly in
Are we
in
at war
terms of,
now?
Right, so
So
I
he
think
made
I would,
that
I
war,
would say,
right?
wait,
He was a
hold
war
on, stop.
No,
So
I
I'd say
know
that
you talked a lot. I just
I
want
would
to get
say
an
that we're
answer.
already in a conflict. I would
Okay, this is where he's gonna just keep fact. This is what I learned. Okay, yeah, okay. But let's get down to the logical part of this. The logical part is that we got military in fucking Iran. We got it in Israel. We got it everywhere. All right, and they are attacking U.S. military fucking people because we are working with Israel. So whatever the fuck Israel does, oh, okay. Let's try to spank fucking Netanyahu on the butt sometimes. All right, which Trump does. All right, guys, he does. Just watch. All right, but we have to protect our U.S. military. All right, we are in Iran, and Iran is attacking us because we are working with Israel. All right, we're not working with Iran. You notice fucking that? Why is that?
say that yes, generally, not like war in terms of
We're
declaring
actually,
war.
yeah, we are working with Iran. We're fucking helping the fuck out of them, and they like it, and they love it. This war. No, we're making peace in the Middle fucking East.
But yes, we've been in a conflict, a long-standing conflict.
The proposition
specifically.
is President Trump is more of a war-making
Right.
president.
I don't think any of those conflicts were made by Trump. That's where you're wrong.
India and Pakistan were in conflict prior to the war that you mentioned,
and
right?
we were in conflict with Iran.
Exactly. There are a lot of people who are there are a lot of countries that are in conflict with one another.
Right.
They're not all at war. Most of them are not at war. The United States became in a war with Iran when Israel and the United States announced that they were attacking Iran and started a war with Iran. Of course, there's conflicts. There's conflicts between Brazil and Argentina.
Sure.
There's conflicts between Peru and Uruguay. There's conflicts between.
You're being vague.
I'm being very specific. I'm talking about a war.
There's a difference between smaller conflicts or like a general conflict that's going on for a long time and like a large-scale war, and even like, for example, small military engagements. Like, for example, Midnight Hammer, we bombed Natanz, Fordow, and Isfahan, were more smaller engagements, right? And by the way, we pulled that pretty quickly, and everything was fine afterwards.
If Russia came to the United States and bombed 3 different nuclear facilities in the United States with B-52 bombers of the Russian Soviet analog, would you consider that to be an act of war?
Yeah, you're saying it would be.
Okay, first of all, all right? First of all, no one has attacked the United States of America, another country, since fucking Pearl Harbor, or maybe Canada. I don't know. No, I think it was Pearl Harbor, the last one. Yeah. So don't even use that analogy. Oh my gosh, we are the number one. We're not even a country. We are the world. We're America. Gosh.
Casus belli, right?
I'm not
Casus
talking about
belli means act of war.
Yeah, would you?
So it would be casus belli. That's the answer.
Okay, congratulations on using the Latin.
Right.
I'm just wanting to. I don't want to necessarily test your language.
That
would be an act of war, right?
Yeah, the same way hold on. The same way that, for example, the IRGC, the Pakistani guy that was recently convicted, he admitted that the IRGC paid him and tried to give him intelligence to assassinate Donald Trump around the time where Butler happened. That's also casus belli.
Were we
the
at
fact
war
that the
with
IRGC
Iran
tried to kill our president?
Were we at war with Iran?
The Electra elected
were we at war
is
with
an act
Iran?
of war. We've been in conflict and an act of war with Iran for a very long time.
Okay, but and
it's funny that you're not mentioning the fact that 242 Americans were killed in Beirut in 1982.
The United States has killed countries throughout the Middle East. You know what President Reagan did in response to that? He said the reason this happened is because we have a military base in Lebanon where we shouldn't be, and he withdrew those troops. That's because he knew that the reason we were being attacked was because we were interfering in that region.
Yeah, we were there
the
as a
reason that
peacekeeping force from
Iran
the
took
UN.
over and the embassy was because we had.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying. Finally, he says it. I think he just said it earlier, but yeah, we've been fighting people in Iran. That's where all the terrorists mingle and group, and all of them. We've been fighting, and we got military there. All right, and they like fucking with us like little weirdos. Y'all ever watch fucking Hurt Locker, man?
overthrown their democratically elected government in 1953 and imposed a savage, brutal tyranny on them that ruled that country from 1953 until the revolution in 1979.
Sure.
But these are all historically interesting points
That's
that we can
actually
talk
wrong.
about with the justification. No, it's not wrong. The point is, I asked you earlier, was the United States at war with Iran?
The answer is yes.
But you said no. And
It depends on how you're defining war. It depends on how you're defining war and long-term conflict. But let me hold on.
The point is, we were not at war, as you said the first time when I asked you, with Iran when President Trump took office.
Sure.
He didn't talk about there being a war throughout
No,
the
he talked
2020
about in
war,
2011,
and we are now
2013,
in a war because
even by the way,
he made a
2020,
war.
He continued
made a
said
war
Iran
with
cannot have a nuclear weapon. By the way, can you explain to me the reason for 60% rich uranium? No country that has tried to, or even been in talks of trying to get a nuclear weapon,
Because
has ever
President Trump
reached 60% and not gotten to 90%,
because
which is
President
weapons
Trump
grade. That's never,
invalidated
ever happened,
the
by
agreement where they were only at 3%. President Trump make this war.
No, that's not. The answer is no.
So
This
we
has
were
been
at- we
this
were
has
at-
been a general.
we
yes,
were at
we
war,
have been.
but-
We have been at a general conflict with Iran, or you could say even a war. For
I am saying
over
war.
47 years.
And President Trump just forgot to mention that we were at war when he was running for president in 2024
Look
and
how
everything.
bad
No,
he
by
is.
the way,
we're
no,
at
he
war.
openly
wants
said,
he
no,
wants
he's
it
been
to be a war. Look at it's a fucking war. It's a war. Shut up, dude. You wish you were president, man. Gosh.
conspicuous about.
You
this.
could have
He's
been.
been very clear about the fact that we have a conflict.
But you
with
stressed
Iran.
yourself
We have
out.
issues
No, a
with
war,
Iran.
a
They
war.
tried to
We
kill
do
him.
have
Right,
conflict.
again, I don't think you understand it. Wars can also be conflicts.
Exactly,
So I
but
don't
they
know why you
aren't.
keep
That's
stressing
the
yourself out
conflicts
when you
aren't
become
necessarily
president.
wars. The question is,
Yes.
was there a
Whenever you're
war
thinking
with
about it.
Iran? And if so, why did President Trump bother to mention, hey, by the way, we're
He's
at
been
war
very
with Iran in
conspicuous about it.
2024, and
He's been
here's
very conspicuous about it.
So
Well,
the
I don't know,
war
what
didn't
would
start-
be the incentive? Just like, hey, we're at war with Iran. Look, everyone understands that we've been at a long-term
Nobody
conflict
understood
with
because it was
Iran.
never true. It
No,
was, we
and by
weren't
the
at
way,
war.
We got to pause here. Can we just hear your response and then we got to stop?
Yeah, there were several wars that President Trump started in Yemen, Venezuela, and Iran. You can say they're just or not, but these wars did not exist. Nobody said they existed during the 2024 campaign, including President
One
Trump.
thing I do
And when
know
he
about
announced them,
Yemen,
he had-
Greenwald is he's a failed politician trying to, and then he just made a podcast, and then I guess somehow Tucker Carlson talked to him too.
announced
war
them
that happened?
as with the
we
United
gotta
States in
stop with him now.
2024. All right.
All right, pause.
Good to talk to you. Hello, how are you? Good to meet you.
Talk to you. Nice to meet you too. Okay, so I want to get back to the prompt about peace versus war. So the way I look at it is the first Trump administration was a peaceful administration. There was no new wars that were started, right? We have the Abraham Accords, which Trump should have won a Nobel Peace Prize for because it was historic. And then we had something that was ahistoric, right? So the Biden administration came in between. It kind of disrupted Trump's foreign policy. And under the Biden administration, we saw the disastrous withdrawal from Afghanistan, which was really a green light to our anti-Western adversaries that we didn't really have the strong will to defend U.S. hegemony abroad. Following that, the invasion of Ukraine by Russia. And then we saw Biden trying to re-engage in JCPOA negotiations as a legacy of the Obama administration. And he unfroze $16 billion in assets to the regime and then also waived sanctions so they could sell over
Whose
$100
assets
billion.
were those?
They're theirs, but they're frozen. That's
Iran's assets.
correct, but that's going against the maximum pressure campaign. So if you don't want war, how do you then deter a belligerent actor if it's not maximum sanctions? What would your solution be then? To let them.
In general, in every other country on the planet except the United States and Israel, war is talked about as a last resort, something that you engage in only if there's a country that's attacking you,
Which war
or
are we
attacking
talking
your
about?
homeland, or attacking. What's
Okay,
that?
So the sanctions are a legacy of the
Oh
Iraq-Iran
my
war.
gosh, I'm gonna repeat myself last time, okay? They are attacking us, okay? They are attacking us because we are working with Israel. Our military is working with Israel. We are everywhere. Our military is everywhere.
In the 1980s. So which war? We're talking about the current operation, which is not a war.
I'm talking
or-
about why we should be at war with Iran at all.
Right, the second.
And you're saying, what is it that we should be doing
Well,
to Iran?
I'm saying
and
my point with talking about the Biden regime.
Why are we saying
regime,
Iran?
The Biden
We're not
administration
fighting fucking
was
Iran.
that
We're
they
fighting the
empowered,
fucking terrorists.
We could maybe use regime. They empowered the Iranian regime diplomatically, financially, which then positioned them for October 7th, and also the Houthis. It is true the Houthis blocked off the Suez Canal for 4 to 5 months. We also had British military naval ships in the region, U.S. military ships. So they weren't just attacking Israel, although yes, Yes, that was a part of it. So we saw a destabilized Middle East because of the direct
Okay, so
empowerment
let me
with Iran.
just, it's interesting because I think there's a very American perspective because we are a country that is constantly at war, unlike everybody else on the planet. The last time China fought a war was 1979, and one of the reasons they're displacing the United States and every region in the
proxy
globe,
powers around the
including
world.
Latin America and Africa, is because they spend their resources building up their country while we have our country deteriorating because we spend so much time and money and effort and resources on foreign
The other
wars.
take is that they don't have the conventional capabilities
China's
to
dick.
enact
They have a
war.
massive,
Sucking China's
gigantic
dick
military.
right now.
They just don't. They just know
but we still
that, which is
deter
what,
that
by the
with
way,
our
which was what
military.
President Trump's primary political appeal was that we're
just-
constantly
you
fighting
just-
these
you're
foreign
just trying to
wars. We
use
have to
China
stop
right
fighting
now.
foreign wars
This guy's
in the
literally
Middle East so that
bucking
we can focus on our own
cuckoo for
communities and our own
Cocoa
country.
Puffs.
And here we are back in another one. But I think the point about Iran is that the idea that we can just go and steal countries' money. As you said, it's
But that's not
Iran's
what the point of the
assets. They
claim
have
is.
oil
The
in their
claim is
country.
that we're
Let
a
me just
war-making
finish. They sell their oil to other countries. They receive money for it. We take that money using our dollar as the reserve currency. We steal it and freeze it, and then
We don't steal
somehow
it. We
I
are
should also say
punishing
that
a belligerent regime.
President Trump just lifted sanctions on Iranian oil at sea,
Right.
enabling
it was
them to
a
get
will
huge
of
amounts
good
of money.
faith. It was a good faith
No,
action
it was
for China.
because he
Yes,
needed
for
to
the
do that because
negotiations.
we need oil on the global market because of oil
It's been
because
closed
gas
for-
prices are so
it's
high.
still lower than it was under the Biden administration.
No, I'm
at
saying
the peak of the Biden administration.
because of this war, President Trump lifted sanctions on Iranian oil at sea.
Yes, as
they
a
are now
goodwill to China to
charging
bring them to
money.
the
They are
negotiation
now
table.
charging money for the Strait of Hormuz, and
Yes, 'cause that's
key
the
to-
only
and there's
tactic they
no
have
way
left.
there will be an end to this war that we're currently
No.
negotiating unless the sanctions are lifted on Iran.
They're
Because
completely
there's-
wiped out at the knee. Let me just get back to what I was saying about the Biden administration because it's
I mean,
important.
what
So
good
we
timing, I
Look at
guess.
how
What good
diplomacy never
timing
worked.
for
The
this
JCPOA
video to
completely
drop.
empowered the regime. Same thing
I
with
guess
Biden again.
so.
So Trump came into a region that was completely changed. Also, just globally,
Suck
right?
it.
I believe
Fuck
the Iranian regime
China.
bought 2.5 million acres in Venezuela, which is in our Western Hemisphere. So he came into a world where our anti-Western adversaries had gained strategic holdings that
Not fuck
hinder
Chinese.
U.S. hegemony
I
abroad.
love
So he went
Chinese.
into the region and he said, okay, I'm going to negotiate with the Iranian regime.
Love
He didn't come
China.
as good faith
Fuck
actions to the
China.
negotiation table.
Not Chinese.
Operation Midnight Hammer was a
Okay,
preemptive
YouTube.
strike. They still continue
was
to come
Biden
to
at
the
war with
table.
Iran?
I would say, yeah, it's hard to be at war with a regime that you're funding.
So Biden was not at war with Iran?
Well, we were at war with Iran via Israel, if you want to look at it as a proxy situation.
So Biden was fighting a war against
and also
Iran?
another thing, you keep saying that Trump started wars
No, I'm
in
just-
Yemen,
I'm trying to
in
figure out if we
Lebanon.
were
Again,
about
but those
this
are
war.
proxy wars funded
Yes,
by
I can
Iran.
show
Those
you right
States
now.
at
conflicts
war
existed
with-
way before President Trump.
Would you like me to show you right now how many people died under, how many soldiers died? Shall I show you how many soldiers died? Okay. Yo, yo. Yeah, yeah. No, hold on. Biden, from, hold up, what is it, 2021? No, 2020, 2020, from 2024. Let's see. Well, then we were just getting taken over then. Yo, so what this is saying is that with Joe Biden, that we would get attacked, and we wouldn't fight back. We were getting attacked and by fucking terrorists and shit in Iran and crap, and we weren't fighting back. Oh yeah, didn't we back out? Didn't we run out? That's right. We left all our shit there and everything. Yeah. So Trump is just a fucking using the military and letting people know that we're the fucking badass. See, I don't give a fuck.
Biden waging a war against Iran.
He was funding the regime and empowering them.
Okay,
so the answer is no. It's really hard to wage war against a regime that
exactly.
you're
So the
propping
war
up.
in Iran was started by President Trump in the second
The
term,
war
correct?
in Iran is First off, it's not a war. It's an operation. We have highly discriminately taken out
What
heads
would
of
be
the
a war
IRGC.
be? How is it not a war?
Well, it's not a war because the Iranian regime
We're
can't
blowing up their
respond in a way
bridges.
that
We're
necessitates
blowing up
war.
their bridges.
Yes, it's an
We're
operation.
blowing up their.
And they've been blowing
what's
up the Middle
difference
East.
between a war and
since,
no, I'm just trying. Again, the proposition we're supposed to be discussing.
Right,
And I
he's
realize why
war-making.
you don't want to and others don't want to. Is
No, I am.
President,
I'm
no,
demonstrating how the regime was empowered when Trump came to office, so it necessitated a response that was different than his first administration when there was peace through strength.
You have to let me finish. What the question we're supposed to be debating
Which
is that
I
President
answered.
Trump is more of a war-making president
And I
than a
just said he
peacemaking
came into a
president.
situation in the Middle East that was vastly different than the one that he
No,
left
I
because
understand.
of weak foreign
I'm
policy.
trying to ask about war,
Okay, so
which
then
is
what is the response then? So if it's not high-pressure
was
sanction
President
maximum-
Biden waging a war on Iran? Yes or no?
Well, if you're talking about responding
Can you just
to all,
answer that? Why
so
can't
then
you
yes,
answer?
If Iran is
Right?
considered the Houthis,
I know,
the
this guy's
Hezbollah,
so
Hamas, then yes, we
fucking-
were
President
waging
Biden
a
was
war.
waging.
But with war comes peace, right? With war comes peace, man. That's like literally how America was fucking made. Get rid of those freaking savages.
A war in
Yes,
Iran.
via our
I thought you
proxies.
said he was so favorable to Iran that he
I
was
said
treating
he
Iran
empowered
so
the
well.
regime. Yeah, both sides of the conflict, but he empowered the regime.
Were we at war not with Iran's proxies, but with Iran itself under
well,
Joe Biden?
Iran actually broke the status quo of not engaging with Israel, our greatest ally, in
Did
May of
Joe
2024.
Biden wage a war on Iran?
It's not. First off, again,
Why
I
can't
am
you just
contesting-
answer? Why can't you just
I just
answer?
said yes. If you're going to consider via proxies, which
No,
you
I'm not. I don't
apparently-
mean via proxy. I mean
Well,
directly
you
with
said,
Iran.
Okay, but you're contradicting yourself because you said Trump started wars
I'm
in
only
Yemen,
asking a
and you defined it by
question.
the
I'm
proxies
only
in
asking a
Yemen. So you can't
question.
define war one way for Trump
I'm
and
only
not
asking
with
a
Biden.
question.
We got to pause there. We're out of time. Please return to your seat.
Oh yeah, if anybody's still watching, stay tuned. I'm gonna be reading the comments after this. There's a lot of crap talked about me, but I got you. I got the answers to those questions or those statements.
Raise your flag if you would concede that Trump started this current war with Iran. Okay, so we got two people. Thank you.
My next surrounded claim is President Trump is subservient to the Israel lobby.
If you'd like to debate this claim, please get to the chair in 3, 2, 1. Whoa.
Hey, good to meet you.
Ryan, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Nick Matau. Okay, I think important thing to do with debates is to define our terms. Can you please tell me what subservient is?
Yes, serving the interest of someone else, taking orders from somebody else, taking direction from somebody else, not in every case, but as a general posture ethos.
Okay, so that's already a problem because subservient doesn't mean not sometimes taking the case, sometimes not. Subservient is literally defined as in a subordinate manner you are controlled by in a very direct way.
You want to set it up so that if you
Right.
can point to one example where President Trump didn't do what Israel wanted, then that means somehow he's not subservient to Israel.
Sure, right
you
now.
just want to creating a binary framework.
So this is a prompt I didn't get to go on, but President Trump is subservient to the Israel lobby. Okay, so just President Trump, Donald fucking Trump. Okay, the businessman, the man, the guy that freaking king, dude. He owns. He can own anything he wants. He can get anything he wants. He can do anything he fucking wants. He is controlled by a fucking lobby. Are you stupid? He is the lobby. Donald Trump is the fucking lobby. He is the cash pot. Damn. Shit. Just because Israel has more fucking money than more people, I guess, and that, yeah, President Trump, yeah, you give that guy money. Yep. You're his homie. Unless you turn on him, he'll fucking throw that money in your face. Don't get President Trump wrong. You guys are stupid. Everybody's stupid. Everybody's fucking stupid. Somebody fucking raised their flag saying that oh my gosh, that he started the war in Iran. Dude, you'll see more and more how fucking how alone I am in this. I am so alone in this. So alone. Trump supporters.
Where as long as you can point to one example
I can
where
point
the
to many
Israelis
examples,
wanted something.
actually.
Right. So that's why I'm saying that is not what this proposition means. It doesn't mean that in each and every case, President Trump is
Right.
fully and absolutely obedient to Israel. That if you want me to concede that there are instances, I will be happy to point to some as well
Not
where
conceding
President Trump or
instances.
other
Okay,
presidents.
you're
So
just
that's
galloping.
not the question.
I understand. I'm saying that your claim, it's your claim. I didn't force you to make the claim. Your claim is not there's high influence. Your claim is not any of that. Your claim is he's subservient. And if you're going to say he's subservient, that means something. Now, if we want to change what you're saying and you just want to say he has higher influence from, when you say pro-Israeli, do you just mean Jews? What do you mean by that?
No, of course I don't mean Jews. There are huge numbers of Jews who oppose Israel.
I'm asking, well, generally when I debate this topic, a lot of people will say like, you know, the Adelsons, right? Because they're Jewish, they're Israeli. Or do you mean pro-Israel like you're talking about AIPAC, you're talking about J Street?
People talk about George Soros, but nobody suggests that he's pro-Israel. The reason people talk about the Adelsons
Real Jewish people, they call themselves Jewish and they respect Israel, and they call themselves Israeli. They don't say I'm a Jew. They say I'm Israeli. I'm Jewish. That's what real Israeli Jewish people do. So I don't know. He's saying that Jews don't like fucking. They're not real fucking Jews. They're fucking Americanized, weird creepos, probably pedophiles, fucking sucking the tit off the government. All right, those aren't the ones. No, Israelis are Jewish and they love Israel.
is because they gave $300 million to Trump's campaigns, and Trump himself said that every time the Adelsons came to the White House, they
Israel.
didn't ask about the United States, they asked for things for Israel. Trump went to the Knesset last year and said Miriam Adelson loves Israel more than they love, she loves the United States.
Is Trump subservient to Elon Musk?
No, I don't think Trump is
Okay,
subservient to
Elon Musk, at least in this last election cycle, gave significantly more than the Adelsons.
Right, he's one individual. He's one individual.
Exactly. One individual gave more than two, and also the lobbying groups. But that being said, what is it that makes you think he's controlled in at least a significant way by whatever you're saying?
What President Trump himself said. President Trump said that every single time Sheldon Adelson came to the White House, they asked for things for Israel, and he gave it to them. They didn't ask for things for the United States. He said that Miriam Adelson.
He didn't say he gave everything they asked for.
Yes, he did. He said
no.
He said every time. He said in fact,
the Golan Heights.
They asked. He gave them even things that they didn't ask
Correct.
for Israel, not for the United States.
Correct. He did not tell them times where they had talks where they disagree. He never talked about that. I know exactly which quote you're talking about. You're adding that in to push your narrative right now.
I'm not
but
adding
that being said, we're
anything.
not here to talk about just the Adelsons. We're here to talk about the pro-Israel lobby. I'm asking you, how do you know that they are controlling Trump at least in a significant enough way to whatever your claim means?
What I'm saying is that President Trump makes decisions in the interest of the Israeli people and the Israeli government over and above the American people, and it's the only country for which that's true. That is subservience.
Okay.
We can go back to the semantic definition, but that is what I mean. And there's so many instances where President Trump has...
Did you just say what I think you just said?
In the interest of the Israeli...
What
I'm saying is that President Trump makes decisions in the interest of the Israeli people and the Israeli government over and above the American people, and it's the...
No. When Trump's done, we're going to be king of the fucking world. America is going to be the fucking king of the world. We are going to be the rulers of the world, okay? That's what Trump's doing. Y'all keep calling him king. Maybe it's getting to his head. Maybe you guys should stop calling him king. All right? All the haters, all right? They keep calling him king. No kings. They keep calling Trump king. Maybe, you know what it's like? You know what it's like, dude? This is what it's like. Trump is like, whenever like the kids, like they love their dad, but they grow up and they start listening to their mom more and shit, and then their kids start acting like the mom, and the dad is like, oh, fucking annoying ass kids. I have to deal with these kids now. Acted just like the fucking mommy. Like, what happened to them? That's exactly what these Trump supporters, these people, everyone's becoming. They're becoming little fucking, they hate their dad now. They hate daddy. They hate daddy now. They want to listen to mommy. They want to bite the fucking apple. They're fucking females, feminine. All right? Trump got a big dick and he fucks it with Melania.
Only country for which that's true. That is subservience.
Okay.
We can go back to the semantic definition, but that is what I mean. And there's so many instances where President Trump has taken steps, and right now his entire focus is on a country that is Israel's primary adversary, that Israel has wanted for decades the United States to go in and change the regime.
I understand the
benefits of
hyperbole.
Israel.
His entire focus is not on that, but I get it. But my question for you,
I would hope it is. It's a very dangerous war. He should be.
Your argument, you trying to prove your argument's failing because what you're saying is that he is just giving everything they want as if
I didn't say that.
Actually, you literally said that. You said he gave everything they want.
I said at the start, I would
rewind
concede
the clip.
I said at the start, if you want to prove that there are times when Trump doesn't give everything to Israel, I would concede that it's not a binary absolute framework.
I'm trying to get my question.
Do you remember when I said that?
I do remember when you said that, and I remember when you contradicted yourself a few seconds later.
What did I say when I contradicted myself?
I already said this point, but here's the problem. When he said that people go in, we want this, and he's like, I don't really agree with that. It's like, well, we'll give you some more money. He's like, okay, I agree with it now. How do you know Trump doesn't just already align with the same ideology?
The reason I know is because President Trump spent a full decade promising people like you and everyone else who voted for him that he was not going to involve the United States in more Middle East wars, in more regime change wars. That is the basis and foundation for Trump's entire political movement. Israel in more regime change wars. That is the basis and foundation for Trump's entire political movement. Israel comes to the United States, and there's no way to compare Israel to any other country. Netanyahu came 7 times. No other world leader came twice. We give billions and billions of dollars to Israel. I thought I let you talk, and yet you sit there and say, let me talk, and then I get 6 words out, and you can't control yourself.
Go ahead, Glenn.
So there's no comparison. We give infinitely more money to Israel. We deploy our military forces to protect Israel. President Netanyahu, Prime Minister Netanyahu came 7 times, and then when he was done coming, Donald Trump turns around and does exactly what he's been promising for a decade that he wouldn't do, which is he goes to war in the Middle East, a regime change war in the Middle East, against Israel's primary enemy, after Netanyahu spent 30 years saying, this is what we want the United States to do. That is how I know that President Trump does things that Israel tells him to, even though he doesn't already.
One thing we cannot deny, and this is a sad truth, a hard truth, is Israel citizens and Chinese citizens that come to America is a net benefit. It is. All right, every time. They build businesses. They build a lot of houses, contractors. It's a hard truth. So there it is. The thing is that we don't want the Chinese communism in our shit. That's the hard part about it. But Israel, they believe in God. Like, do you want to side with them or you want to side with the fucking Muslim? Yeah, I said it.
Okay, well, first off, that's actually not proof that he does. That's just an indication that you might be right, but I'm going to correct your quote. Actually, President Trump said multiple times, just off the top of my head, I'm sure I'm missing some, he said multiple times that he doesn't want to go straight to military action with Iran, but he has made it very, very clear that if negotiations are exhausted, I will use the military option.
For regime change?
Okay, first off, do you know what the 4 goals of the war are in Iran?
I'm asking you,
do you know what the 4 goals of the war are?
Did he ever,
what are they? Is it regime change?
They changed so many times.
No.
No.
President Trump.
There aren't 4 goals.
There has been 4 stated goals. You can go on the internet right now to the official government website and you will read the 4 goals. At the beginning of the war, Trump, in an interview with the Washington Post, said, my main goal and why I'm attacking Iran is to free the Iranian people. Is that one of the 4 goals that President Trump said was his most important objective when going to war with Iran? I'm going to concede something. I agree with you that President Trump speaks in very grandiose measures. He does. I'm not going to. Everything's the biggest thing ever, the most beautiful thing ever. It's the worst thing ever. I'm not going to disagree with you.
That was a stated goal of the war.
No, it was not. If you listen to our Department of War, if you listen to our Department of War, and by the way, you can go on.
It's the president that determines the war objectives.
I understand. Okay,
it's not the Department of War. It's the president.
That's not true. I was in the military for 12 years. That's not actually particularly true.
Who was your commander-in-chief? The Secretary of Defense?
No, it's not.
It was the president, right?
No. First off, that's not how objectives are attained. You're right. He agrees with them or disagrees with them. And again, I agree. Trump will go on interviews and he will say stuff
who sets war goals for the United States?
Well, first off, it's actually a complex measure of how it goes out. Are you asking who agrees with the finalized goals?
When a war started, who determines what the goals of the war are?
Again, it's a very complex measure.
Correct?
Again, if you're saying agree with, he gets briefs, he gets people from the
Who's
Pentagon.
the final decision maker
Okay,
about the goals
that's
of
the right
war?
question, and that would be the commander in chief.
The
That is
president,
true.
right?
Right.
So
and
if Donald,
if you
so
look
when
at the
when we
official
want to know
memo,
what wars are,
if you look
we
at
look
the
to what the
official,
president says.
I got
correct?
it. If you look at the official memo that was signed by him, that was pushed out and still on the government website to this very day, you can read the main objectives of the war.
Has he said that regime change is one of the goals of the war?
I agree that he's implied it in
Has
interviews.
he said it explicitly?
In the official memos where he's
That our
approved.
goal is to protect.
Let me ask you something.
Okay, we gotta pause there.
You
We
need
gotta
to
pause
ask,
there.
answer my question. Has Donald Trump?
They want regime change. They want regime change. Iran wants regime change. Venezuela wants regime change. Cuba wants regime change. Mexico wants regime change. What other fucking place? Fucking all of them. They want America to come in there and fucking save their asses. Fuck them. Fuck him. Fuck all of... No, I love everybody here. I love everyone. I love everybody. Everybody's very nice and cool and chill. All right. Little stiff, but I guess I'm just a talkative person.
Said that a goal of the war in Iran is to free the Iranian people by changing the regime of that country, a regime change war in the Middle East of the kind he said he wouldn't fight. Did Donald Trump say that was a goal of the war or not?
I'm going to answer you.
One word
Please,
answer.
please.
I'm going to answer you.
One word
Yes,
answer, or
just
we got to move on.
real quick answer.
No,
One word. He said in interviews. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Prior to October 7th, America First, and it still means America First is having a strong ally in Israel. I find it very interesting, this disproportionate, selective outrage with this
Exactly.
pseudo-Israel influence.
Israel
AIPAC,
is
3.8
my
million
niggas.
compared to the billions of dollars from other foreign
Israel
adversaries.
is my...
You're,
I
you're
love
talking about
Israel.
subservient. We
I'll
have the
give
Chamber
up.
of
Oh.
Congress, we have Big Pharma, we have the Real Estate Association, all massively giving more funds to the lobbying world. The influence of Qatar alone, $1 billion on universities and media. Aren't you more concerned about that? Why do you never speak about the Qatari influence in America?
There's no comparing the influence of Qatar in the United States to Israel. And the proof of that is that we don't give $4 billion automatically a minimum every year to Qatar the way we do with Israel. This $3.8 billion that you said, much of which has to be spent at American arms manufacturers like Boeing and Raytheon, is like a gift certificate that the American public gives to Israel and says, here, go shopping for yourself at our arms dealers. There's no
Yeah,
other
I haven't
country that
seen
gets
this
that.
at all,
We've
this
given
whole thing.
vastly more
This is my
sums to
first time
Israel
seeing
over the
this.
last several decades than any other country by far. We deploy our military for Israel. We don't do that for Qatar. President Trump has been imposing speech codes at universities to protect Israel and not for Qatar. People who demonstrate against Israel are being deported, not for Qatar.
Okay.
And that the amount of money itself, 3.8 is the minimum. That $3.8 billion is the minimum. We gave over $20 billion under President Biden in 2024 to
honest.
Israel.
You're not being honest.
These are all facts.
Yes, no, they are facts, but you're not saying the whole story.
What else?
Israel is the only country that actually gives us a return on investment. That $3.8 billion, yes, 80% of it is invested right back into America. America jobs, American defense. And guess who tests out all of our military equipment? It's Israel, because they are in the front lines of our enemies. They are doing us a favor. We need Israel strategically, and we are grateful to have them as a strong ally.
The American people have turned against Israel because they're sick of having
No,
their
it's because
resources.
of propaganda
Yeah,
that you're...
and this guy, that guy who was all like, doing a little cringe face and all that shit about Israel, it's like, buddy, what are you doing? Because I know a bunch of Israelis here and Jewish people here fucking building houses and fucking constructing and shit, selling a lot of merch, a lot of freaking houses, mainly contractors like crazy, creating jobs too because they got to work on the house. So this guy's all tripping about, yeah, there is a return investment by working with Israel because they bring their freaking, those Jewish people here, man, make jobs and build houses and shit. I mean, what is Israel gonna do? All the Jews are just gonna go in that little tiny place in Israel? No, they love America. They can kick it in America. Mm-hmm. I'm down for some Chinese too, but if we just had Chinese,
ones, right?
Yeah, just the pretty Chinese, yeah,
and the pretty Venezuelans, right?
Yeah, cute Chinese. No Japanese, no Korean.
No, you have to.
No more Filipinos either. They're
No,
dirty.
how about this? You have to
They're
be
dirty.
over a 7, and if you want, like, you gotta be beautiful to come over here to
Yeah.
our country. Like, let's stop fucking importing these fucking dirty ass fucking people, right?
Yeah, if you're an 8, you can stay.
Yeah, you can 8, you can stay, right? That's a good
8, you
one.
stay.
Perpetuating on X.
If
We
you
didn't
look-
have an
if you
issue
look-
of this
if you
before
look at
October
it-
7th.
If you look at American communities, they're falling apart. This was what
And
President Trump.
this is Israel lobby's fault?
It's not entirely the Israel lobby's fault,
Okay,
but we ought
so
to be focused.
should we talk about
we ought to
Doge, the
let-
$215 billion in Doge? Maybe we should look at that.
The Israeli people have a higher standard of living than tens of millions of people in the United States,
Why is-
and yet
what
they
does
are
that have to
forced
do with
because
Americans?
Americans are forced to subsidize the Israeli
No,
military
that-
to send tens of billions of dollars to Israel
Wait.
to go to war
so
for
now
Israel.
it's tens of billions of dollars.
Yeah, I just told
No,
you in
no,
2024
that's
alone, it was
because they
above
were
$20 billion.
They were in a war.
Exactly. Every time
but
Israel is
that-
at war.
Oh, she's kind of pretty. Yeah.
No, the other girl.
Oh, the other one. Yeah, I mean, pretty, I guess. Yeah, pretty is pretty, whatever you want to think. But this guy acts, dude. This Greenwald guy acts like he has it hard. Like whatever Trump is doing and whatever the Jewish stuff and the war stuff, like it bothers his life. I saw his car. He has a fucking nice ass car, dude. Dude, this guy's fucking living, chilling. He has fucking 500,000 subscribers on YouTube. Like he's fucking he's making money. He's doing perfectly fine. What the fuck? It's doing perfectly fine. If it wasn't for Israel and Trump, what the fuck would he be talking about? What the fuck would he get his views from? You fucking dipshit. Love you. I love him, though. I love him. Not an asshole. I was very nice there. I'm still very nice.
Israel's
What
always
do you mean
at war.
every time? Israel has never asked for boots on the ground, and yes, they were in a war.
No,
that
we pay for their
Biden
wars.
helped
We pay for their
enact.
wars. We pay for those wars.
Because it's to our interest that there is stability in the Middle East, because these are proxies to America as well.
With the wars that Israel
First
starts create
Saturday,
instability,
then
not stability.
Sunday. Do not normalize terrorism and the Islamic Caliphate. Why are you so hyper-focused on our
It's the same
ally?
way that we started off the first question where people say, no, Trump doesn't make wars. And then, okay, Trump makes them, but they're justified. The point here is we do more for the Israeli lobby than any other country. You started off by saying, no,
Because
it's
they're an
Qatar. And now
ally.
you're saying, yes, we do more for Israel,
Because
but
they're an
it's
ally with
justified.
good reason.
A lot
It is
of
justified.
course, they're an ally and they're an enemy. They spy on us. They steal
Just
our
like
nuclear
America
secrets.
does.
They spy.
You're selectively. You're
Israel is
selective
the
on
number
Israel
one
only.
surveillance
Everyone
threat
spies
against,
on everyone.
not the way that Israel spies on the United States. When I did the Snowden reporting, there are documents that say here are the countries that are
That's
the greatest
fine.
surveillance threat: China, Russia, Iran. Number one on that is Israel because they treat us like an enemy.
They
They
do
take our
not
money.
treat us
They
like an
sponge off
enemy.
our
This
of
is
our
your
citizenry. They
propaganda. You're
suck
feeding
money
into
out of
Al
our.
Jazeera.
They
I don't,
suck
again,
money out of
you
our
never
country.
want to talk about our actual enemies. You only want to talk about Israel.
I
Okay,
think
we gotta
Israel does more
pause there.
damage to
You've
the
been
United
voted
States
out
than
by the
almost any
majority.
other country on the planet.
Please return to your seats.
Damage? What? How?
Because she said that he only wants to talk. She doesn't want to talk about the enemies. All he wants
Yeah,
to
I know.
talk about
Yeah,
is Israel.
all he wants to talk about Israel. Yeah, and not the enemies. Yeah, it's like, how is Israel our enemy in any fucking which form of way at all? I don't give a fuck what anyone says. I know an Israel. I love this Israel guy. And he knows Israel. And he was born in Israel. And he fucking was in IDF too. And he fucking loves America. And he lives in America. Got with an American woman, Hispanic woman, thus though. But, and fucking A. I live in fucking perfect fine. Beautiful baby. So fuck these people who want to talk shit about Israel. They can all suck it.
John?
So here's the thing. I actually do agree with you that Israel does have an outsized influence on our government in general. I think that it's a policy thing that we have to start putting domestic policy ahead of foreign policy. What I don't agree
Oh, and yes, he is wearing makeup.
with is your characterization of it as subservient. I think that implies a greater allegiance to a foreign country than what a president actually has. So let me understand. Tell me some of your reasons why you think it goes beyond influence.
Sure. So for decades in the United States, in both parties when they had the White House, the policy of the United States has been that the worst thing that the United States has to overcome in the Middle East, when doing deals in the Middle East, when trying to advance our interests in the Middle East, is the fact that the Palestinians do not have a state. And the only way that the United States can ever improve its position in the Middle East is through a two-state solution. That's why, going back to the first Bush administration, back to the Reagan administration, they were threatening Israel. They were indignant with the Israelis that they were expanding settlements in the West Bank, because that would forever prevent a two-state solution, would mean that we were seen in the Middle East as suppressing the Palestinians. Israel ignored that. They expanded West Bank settlements. When the first Bush administration tried to stop it, Bill Clinton ran in 1992 accusing Bush 41 of being an anti-Semite. And ever since then, when that harsh accusatory framework came down on James Baker and George Bush and Brent Scowcroft as anti-Semites, American presidents, with some exceptions, have been petrified of opposing Israel and the Israel lobby. They can remove members of Congress like no other lobby can. They've proven that repeatedly. And so it's not just that they're our ally and we help them when it's in our interest. We help them even when it's contrary to our interests, as we're doing right now with this war.
Well, yeah, you just kind of danced around it. You didn't actually say what characterizes Trump's behavior as subservient.
When you take, let me just quickly,
let me say
but
one
you
thing.
want to know?
No, but let me say one thing.
Okay.
I actually do relate a lot to what you're saying, being called an anti-Semite. I'm running for Congress in Hollywood, Glendale, Burbank, and Pasadena. And the thing that I got labeled for criticizing Israel, the Israeli lobby, and the government of Israel, to be fair, I got immediately labeled an anti-Semite by my own party, by the Republican Party. But I want to understand what makes Trump subservient, what makes the influence go beyond just influence and makes him have a greater allegiance to Israel than America. You haven't answered that.
By subservience, I mean when you take interests that are in the interest of another country over your own. And subservient, are you saying why is he subservient?
No,
like what
I'm trying to
causes that?
understand
Or
your
what do
logic,
you mean
because
by subservient?
what you've described so far is influence, which we all agree there's a foreign influence in our government that's outsized, and it very often drives our politics and our politicians to go beyond the interests of Americans. But that doesn't mean that they have a greater allegiance to a foreign government than they do to their own people.
I'm not saying President Trump has a greater allegiance to Israel than he does to the United States. I'm saying that the lobby that influences him, that he's afraid of, that he takes direction from, their goal is to make sure that American politicians are serving the interest of Israel even above the interest of the United States, even when it undermines or subverts the interest of the United States. That is the point of the Israel lobby, is to make sure that Israeli interests
you're talking
stay
about the
above.
Israel lobby.
All right, we got to pause there. You've been voted out.
Wait,
Good luck making sure that Israeli interests or subverts the interest of the United States.
You're talking about her? Wait, chill. You're talking about her?
She's so beautiful.
Really? It is.
What? She's ugly.
She looks like if I stare at her long enough, she's gonna suck my soul out.
Oh, that's what I want.
No, not like that.
States. That is the point of the Israel lobby, is to make sure that Israeli interests
You're talking
stay
about the
above.
Israel lobby.
All right, we got to pause
what?
there. You've been voted out.
Good luck in your campaign.
She looks like too much.
Don't lie to me.
Too much.
Be honest.
I don't know.
Hello.
Nice to meet
Nice to meet you as well.
I'm Eden.
Too much. I don't have that much
Okay,
time.
so when you're talking about the Israel lobby, are
That's
you
too much
referring
time.
mostly to APAC? Or?
No, I mean I'm
about
certainly
her?
referring to APAC, but there's a gigantic number of other
looks like
organs and arms of the
Right.
Israeli lobby.
Right, and can you give examples where they're going outside of legal bounds?
No, I don't. My accusation is not that APAC acts illegally. I do think there's a good argument that they ought to be registered under FARA, but
Okay.
under our laws, they're not required
Okay, so
to.
with the fair argument, you do know that it's American Jewish interests, right?
Jewish
The
as
lobby
well.
APAC is for American Jewish
Jewish.
interests. So
APAC
to say
takes
that it's
direction
going
from the
to
Israeli government. They're over there all the time. I understand the argument that these are Americans, but
Right.
but a lot of Americans have to register under FARA if they're taking directions from or acting on behalf of a foreign government, which I think APAC is. But I'm not arguing that APAC is criminal.
Right.
That's a different debate.
Okay.
We can have that, but that's not the relevant question.
I hear this argument a lot. And what I always go back to is America is voting with their dollar, okay? So yeah, there is influence, right? There is Jewish American influence, but it is because the American people want it. That's why APAC is so successful.
Okay, I'm glad you raised that because
I
actually
did
what
not
APAC
notice
does
how
when
many
they want to
people were
remove
wearing
members from
Jewish,
Congress,
like
they did with
neck
Cory Bush or
jewelry
Jamal
and
Bowman in the
stuff.
last cycle, like they've done
She's
with
wearing,
tons
like,
of them,
Jewish,
is they
like,
spend
words and
insane
something, I
amounts of
don't know.
money for a congressional district, like they're doing with Thomas Massie now. They don't go in and advertise and say this member of Congress isn't sufficiently supportive of Israel or is too anti-Israel, because they know that's a failing issue, because Americans don't care about foreign countries. They care about their own country like every other country.
Right.
What they do is they go in and they deceive people by saying our ads are really about the fact that he doesn't tend to potholes, or he has bad constituent services, or he doesn't support health care, or he's too
And are they
this, or he's
lying
too
about
that.
that? Are they lying about it?
No, it's just
so they're choosing to focus on other issues. And these are issues that Americans
It's exactly
care
the
about.
opposite of what you said, which
Okay,
is that
so-
they
so
go in
basically
and the
you're saying
reason why
they
you said the
focus on
reason why
other-
people vote for AIPAC's candidates is because they want support for Israel.
Well, you
But
know what? If they
AIPAC
raise
doesn't
the
think that
pothole
AIPAC
issue
doesn't-
and this candidate says that they're going to,
But that's not AIPAC's
then
concern. It's a totally stealth and
AIPAC
deceitful
can
campaign.
put their money wherever they want.
I know. I'm not arguing that AIPAC is a criminal organization. I'm not
Okay.
arguing that they should be in prison.
Okay.
I'm arguing that the
So you're
point of
kinda
the
saying there's
Israel
some
lobby is to
nefarious
keep. Yes, it
things
is
going on.
nefarious because the point is to in the shadows
Okay.
hide their
And
agenda,
see,
which
this
is to
is super
keep American
convenient.
politician subservient and captive
Okay,
to the
yeah.
interests
So
of
you
a foreign
always have
country.
to. You have to always have to revert to the conspiracy idea.
It's not a conspiracy.
It
It's
is a
done right out in the
conspiracy
open.
idea.
I don't think it's a
you always have to
conspiracy.
go back to the conspiracy
I don't think
idea
it's a
because you
conspiracy.
can't deal
It's
with
in
the
the
fact
open.
that American Jews are voting for this.
American
okay?
Jews
American
are.
Jews
Do you know
are
what
putting their
percentage of
money
America? Do you know what
where they
percentage of
want it to
America?
go.
Yes, and you're free to do that. You're free to donate to
Okay.
whatever campaign
Look,
you want. So am
you
I.
can
There's
make
no
an argument that
there.
we can reform the lobby system. Okay, that's fair, but Americans are voting with their dollar,
The
and this
difference
is the way that
between
they're
the
voting.
pharma lobby and the Wall Street lobby and the Silicon Valley lobby, which are gigantic,
Which are
is
pouring a
that
lot
they're
more
at
money
least
in, so that's a
American
huge
companies.
difference.
There's no other lobby that represents a foreign country that has even 1/100th of the impact that
First
the
of all,
Israel lobby has, and that's what makes it so
representing
different
an ally,
and so dangerous.
An ally. Jewish Americans have a vested interest in Israel. Okay, they're also
Why?
our ally.
What do you mean? Why do
well,
they have
a lot
that?
of some don't. Like you, right? You're Jewish.
Yeah, I
yeah,
don't-
yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's like you. So some do, some don't. Okay.
Right.
If some do, they can vote with their dollar. They're already our
So you're saying
allies.
a
So
lot
what's
of
wrong
Jews
with
have
that?
a vested interest in a foreign country?
Yes.
In how do they? President Trump said about Miriam Adelson, for example, who's a citizen of Israel and the United States, that he believes she has a greater loyalty to Israel. She would choose Israel when the two are in conflict. Would that be
And
your
that's a
choice
problem.
as well?
And I've heard other people say they have different they care more about other countries they're born in as well.
Right,
So,
but it's
like,
kind
I
of a
don't-
problem that
I don't
the
see
single
point. We
richest
can
and
police
most
that. We can put in legislation
Israeli
to
American
stop
is
that.
somebody who's in the White House all the time. According to President Trump, has more loyalty to a foreign country than she does to the
All
United
right,
States.
so
That's
kick
a
her
pretty
out.
gigantic
What-
problem.
so what?
Kick her out. President Trump has her in the White
We're
House.
gonna get to the nitty gritty. Let's get to my part, and then we'll read comments on my shit. You go read them with me, but let's just see mine. I know I got kicked out soon. Let's see. Oh shit, my name's on there. They put my name.
Defrauded billions of dollars from old ladies, so
yeah.
this guy's
Let's
better
go.
than
Yeah,
this one
so-
at,
so
being,
they-
at being a crook,
Dude,
at
it's-
being a
they're
corrupt,
similar-
being a corrupt criminal. Yes, I do
the-
think Trump's better at that.
Yeah, I mean, corruption is similar as
Okay, we
far
got
as
a
how
pause
it's
there.
monetized.
We got pause there. Flags are up. You've been voted out.
Good, thanks.
You like how I get the chair? Go. Yeah. Oh.
Good, how are you?
Doing well.
My hat's right there.
So you're saying that Trump is more corrupt than Joe Biden? That's what you're saying?
I'm saying the Trump administration is
Damn,
more,
my
has
eyes
a
are
lot more
blue.
corruption than the Biden administration has.
My eyes are blue.
That's what you're saying?
No,
I'm saying the Trump administration
no,
is
dude,
more, has
I
a lot
just
more
worked.
corruption
I just got finished. Well, my aunt's the 2 day, like my aunt
you're
and then
good.
other. Dude, yeah, my face is red because I work outside, man.
than the Biden administration has.
Okay, I'm guessing by what, the war or his kids or what?
I think we're focused primarily on financial corruption. I mean, you can talk about other kinds of corruption as well, but the concern about Hunter Biden and the money that he made off his father's influence, which I found extremely objectionable and still do, pales in comparison to the extreme fortune that the Trump kids and Jared Kushner are building off of Trump's power.
Okay, well, Trump is not corrupted at all. We're not in a war as well. Sorry, there's so many. I wanted to answer you on so many things, but you're not being specific about how it's Trump, his administration corrupted. What exactly? Because his kids aren't the administration. It's just Donald Trump.
Yeah,
so
Trump.
how is
Well, Hunter Biden
how was
wasn't
my
the Biden
fucking
administration,
Trump
but,
corrupted?
it was just the
I
president's
don't
stuff.
care about Joe Biden. I want to go
care
on.
about
You're
Joe
saying
Biden.
Trump, okay? Trump
Trump,
administration.
motherfucker.
How is he more
Well,
corrupt?
it's a comparison between the Biden administration, but
Say
I'll
what
tell
the most corrupt thing that Trump
I'll
has
tell
done.
you what the there's a lot of things, but the main one is they created a company shortly before Trump's inauguration. That's a crypto company called World Financial Liberty.
No,
They all,
that's not-
you got, if you want me to explain, I can
That's
explain,
not
but you got to
corrupt.
let me explain.
So you're saying that he's
nothing
corrupt
to-
that in a way
You-
that
you-
he
I'll
can get in
explain.
trouble just like Hunter Biden
I'll
got in trouble.
explain. There's the World Financial Liberty, which is the crypto company that the UAE has invested hundreds of billions of dollars in.
How's that corrupt?
49%
How is that
ownership.
corrupt?
That paid a huge
How is
amount of
that
money to
corrupt?
enrich President Trump. On top of that, he created this coin, the Trump coin, where any foreign influencers or foreign power can pour as much money as they want into Donald Trump's pocket and have done so.
Are you
And of
aware that
course
Trump?
he's doing
Are
it
you
through
aware
his
that Trump
children.
doesn't take? He never has took his presidential checks. Are you aware
That's
that he's given up
$400,000.
all?
Yes, that's
Oh, that's
great.
just $400,500. That's it. Okay. Are you aware that he's given up all his everything he owns? His
Trump's
motels,
an
his hotels,
infinitely
everything.
richer man now than he was when he saw.
Are you
presidency
jealous
in
of that, or
2016.
like because he's president? Is that jealousy or something? Are you jealous of that? That he knows what to do with his money and he knows how to do it.
Were you a critic of Joe
He
Biden?
is not
Were you a
corrupt.
critic of
He's
Joe
not even
Biden?
close to corrupt. And you know what? You want to know what you're doing right now? You're saying that I saw you
go.
corrected yourself. You said you were saying
Let's
Trump
go,
to the other
Lucas.
people, but now
Let's go.
you're talking.
Let's go.
to me
My
as a
veins
Trump
are popping out.
administration.
My veins are popping out my neck.
The
dude.
formulation is the Trump administration has been
Dude, the sun-
significantly more corrupt than the Biden.
I gotta fucking say, dude, the beams are like fucking beaming, bro. The fucking lights are like beaming, man. And I'm not good with that. I have my eyesight, with my eyes, my blue eyes, like with light, it does this psychological thing, dude, where I feel hot and it gets me hot. I don't know, it gets me hot.
Yes, but
That's
you
what
were
it's been
saying
from the
Trump,
start.
and then you were talking to them saying Trump, and now you're saying Trump administration.
I'm saying both. I explained to you how
Okay.
Donald Trump was corrupt.
Okay, so Trump is not the Trump is Trump. So you think he's in control of whatever happens on something else, or his
The company
kids
that
do?
received hundreds of billions of dollars from the UAE is Trump's
And that's
company.
all Trump's fault.
Trump's company, he created the company with Steve Witkoff, with Steve Witkoff's
Is that
kids.
Trump's fault? Yes
With
or no?
Yes, of course it's Trump's fault. He was the,
He created it with Steve Witkoff.
created
Steve Witkoff. Steve Wit. I don't know. Cough? Fucking cough? I don't know. Some shit like that. Hell yeah. I think I like Steve Witkoff, buddy.
the company with Steve Witkoff, with Steve
Is
Witkoff's
that
kids.
Trump's fault? Yes or no?
Yes, of course it's Trump's fault. He was the
How?
one who created the company.
How is it Trump's fault?
Because Trump is the one who received all that money and now is in bed with the UAE. It's exactly the kind of quid
So
pro
are you
quo
saying
that
he should
Trump
be
is
arrested
political.
right
We gotta pause
You're
there.
saying he should be arrested?
I don't think. I
So
think
how
it
is
should
that
be.
corruption?
We got pause there. You've been voted out.
So you should be arrested, right? He's a corrupted person. He's yeah. So no, he shouldn't be arrested. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying he's corrupt. Okay, I think you're a fag. All right, like how is that? Yeah, you're a fucking homosexual. Fucking A. All right. Well, I'm gonna get back to that, but watch. Let's read these comments. Is it this one?
My next round.
I want to do a quick poll. Rate.
Which one is it?
You're gonna see a comment.
You ready?
So you're criticizing
You ready?
Trump for
Are
presidency
Jealous
in
of that, or like
2016.
because he's president? Is that jealousy or something? Are you jealous of that? Trump is not corrupted at all. We're not in a war as well. So there's so many. I wanted to
Hold on,
answer
let
you
me
on
turn
so
it.
many things, but you're not being specific about.
Okay, oxygen is not good. Here, you want to scroll down? If you want to scroll down here, well, because all right, yeah. If I keep talking and you can't say anything, I win. Look. Okay, first of all, the thing about that, if you can't say, if somebody keeps talking, you're obviously not strong enough to impose and stop that, and you talk, respond, you get in the conversation. You're obviously all right. 400K salary argument is so great for low IQs. He made like $3 billion since he became president. Oh, and how do you not see the corruption? Blinded by the cult. Dude, should I comment on this shit on my account? No.
Yeah. Hell yeah. So you get more famous. What are you talking about?
I'm not famous. I'm not trying to get famous.
No,
I'm
but
trying to
everybody's
fucking...
gonna. Yeah, that's the point. If you want people to see you, so fucking start fucking tag it. Start putting the thing on it. You gotta put in work to this too, bro. Like, of course you gotta fucking say things that are like, oh, that's who he is, and they're gonna know who you are now, and they're gonna start following you and.
You like that one? That's a good one. And you didn't. Listen, from Tapatio, channel all together.
Hey, you're like a troll. That's what you should be. You should be.
It's called Valencia. Isn't that the hot sauce? Valencia.
No, Valentina.
Oh, Valentina.
Yeah.
Let's go. Fuck these people. All right, this can't be real. These people must be getting paid to act this misinformed. I mean, we were getting paid, but I'm not misinformed. I'm calling him a fucking retard. Blinded by the cult. I'm blinded by the great white hope. Go, buddy. Yeah, let's go. This is guy probably arguing with. This is guy you're probably arguing with in comment sections. Not yet. Let's go, buddy. Yeah, yeah, and not for Kamala. Tranny.
You can see that in comments? You can't see tranny?
I can't.
No, you can't. That's how you get the strikes.
There you go.
You still don't care? Yeah, they're gonna take your account away. Don't do that.
We can't share a country with these people. Can't share a country with these people. I'm wearing a MAGA. I'm fucking blonde hair, blue eyed. What the heck? I look like a fucking just straight up jumped off the fucking farm, dude. Especially with that sweat. Damn. The fuck can't live a country with nigga? You don't even have a fucking picture on your fucking crooked lid. What the? Crooked lid 9653. We can't share a country with these people, nigga. You made an account with the name Crooked Lid 9653. Can't share a country with me. I can't share. If that guy's fucking older than me, then he's a fucking retard. So, and if he's not, if he's younger than me, then why am I listening to this dumb little kid? Nigga, dude, all these fucking, probably all these people that are commenting, dude, whenever Trump first became president, they were probably like 9 years old. Seriously, like 8 years old, 9 years old. Maybe 13. But like all these people that fucking talk shit. But I'm not pissed. I'm not pissed. I'm not pissed. I'm not pissed. I'm ready to go. What else? What else? What's next? Look how sweaty and fidgety he is. It's cold.
Damn, so they made a cut of you already? A clip? Jubilee? Damn. So you got a lot of homework tonight, huh?
I don't fucking know.
Damn.
You want to go, dude? You want to fucking go?
Damn, you got straight fucking...
It was hot, man. The freaking damn beams, dude.
Oh, everybody's talking shit, right? They're saying you're on a sick one.
I was drunk. I wasn't drunk.
They know you. They know you. They know.
Two brewskis
You know what?
before the start of all this.
You know what? I'm gonna go in there and infiltrate you.
I couldn't, dude. Even if I did, let's say I did, right? Let's say I did have beer before. It was like 4 hours till I was fucking on there. So let's say I did drink before. Dude, I freak. It was like 4 hours. No, there's no way I did that stuff. I didn't drink. I didn't smoke. And if I did smoke, look, if I did drink, all right, it was like 4.5 hours before I freaking got on there. I was waiting, and then there's breaks and all, and like, we have to make sure everyone's cool and chill. Gosh dang. I'll tell you this, after that, our next break, I took a freaking piss and and some shit. Just a little bit.
Oh, fuck. Jubilee.
But all I had was my vape, and then we didn't have enough time to smoke a cigarette outside, too. So I didn't. I think I did smoke a little bit of weed. But I shouldn't be talking about this. It doesn't matter, okay? Because the point of the fact of the matter is, okay, is that I didn't want. How could I get a debate? All right, how can I get a debate? How do you debate that Trump is more corrupted than Joe Biden? And then it's like, oh, well, Joe Biden this and Joe Biden that. Well, yeah, I know he's corrupted. I'm just saying Trump is more corrupted. What the fuck kind of debate is that? So you're saying Joe Biden's corrupted, and you're also saying, but Trump is more corrupted. Like, what kind of fucking stupid childish debate is that?
Didn't quite get that. Say that again.
Echo, stop. But it's just like, whatever. There it is. That's me reading the fucking comment section, okay? Fucking comment section. Let's go. Who is it? This guy is probably arguing. Oh, wait, no, I just read that one. Let's go all the way. Let's go to the bottom. Let's go to the fucking first one. This can't be a real person. This guy is seriously not okay. Yeah, buddy. Yeah. Liberals in the comments. Thank you. Fuck. Trump derangement syndrome. I don't think he used that right. Dude talks like an alcoholic. Why does it go to alcoholic? Maybe I'm just a fucking redneck. It's never Trump's fault. Drunk much? Why is it so red and sweaty? Because I just Oh gosh, dude. Fuck these comments, dude. Fuck these comments. Feel bad for this guy. Don't feel bad for me, bro. You're the one that's black. That was out of pocket. No, that was perfect. Burnt biscuit. Now I'm a burnt biscuit. The fuck? Burnt biscuits are fucking red. Damn. No, they enhance my skin. I couldn't have been that red. Dude, no, I did do work a lot, dude. A couple days, yeah, dude. But I still look cute. I still look sexy. I like it. I look hot. I look like I've been through shit. That's what I look like. I look like I've been through shit. I look like this motherfucker's seen some shit. That's what I look like. All right? That's what I fucking look like. I look like this nigga seen some shit. All right, let's see. This guy must be a real treat. This guy must be a real treat to have over on the holidays. Huh? Joke's on you. I don't get invited. You just say that.
You just say that. No, because you know what's.
Oh, they're gonna know it's me.
So who cares? So they're gonna look at your face. They're gonna look at your IG. I mean your YouTube. So they're gonna bring more. Like,
and they're gonna talk a lot of shit.
Yeah, who cares, bro?
Oh.
You know what I'm trying to say? You gotta like it. Like if you want it to work out, you gotta put in work to it. It's not gonna happen overnight. All you gotta get is one person to want to collab with you, and then one person to interview, and then boom, bro. Like. Right. Hey, did you comment it? Why is the red hat? What? Red Hat bleeding? Sweaty? Damn. See,
Fuck these people. All right, I'm calling it quits. That was the comment section part of this stream. I'm ending the stream. Fuck this.
oh, it's too much.
Oh, I'm not affected by it. No.
You're gonna come back and talk.
I'm gonna come back. Yeah, to Jubilee. I'm gonna come back to Jubilee and be like, who's making fake ass YouTube comments? I know they didn't like me. Well, not everybody. There's some people that knew me. There are a couple people that knew me. Some didn't want to. I don't know, but there's a lot of new faces, but a lot of young people, very young. Well, young to me, I guess. I don't know. I've been through it. Like whenever I was doing the COVID shit, and whenever Trump was president, like they were like in middle school.
That's just fucking pretty cool. You have your own little clip, right?
Yeah, fuck it. I mean, it's all right. I mean, I'm gonna read all these comments one day, and I'm gonna respond to every single fucking one. All right. It's over.
Heaven only knows. Where the end will go, will I ever know? Heaven only knows. Where the end will go, will I ever know? Heaven only knows. Where the end will go, will I ever know? Heaven only knows.
Hey, why are you about to have the hottest tape of 2015? It's stupid. This song is already so hot, I'm actually just glad that you let me rap on that bitch.
Where are you going? Can I come to? The whole world is open, a playground for me and you, and we could be fine. Shit, who the hell knows? It's your eyes and your ears and your mouth and your nose, head and your shoulders, your knees and your toes. I dream of this moment. Will it come true? The whole world, they know it. They just waiting for me and you. And she, just like I, got her head in the clouds. Don't need to be lower before it's all over. I promise we'll figure it out. I ain't coming down. Why would I need to? So much of this world is above us, baby. They might tell you that I went crazy. I'm just trying to reach you.